Monster Hunter Wilds will win Game of the Year. This is something I am 100% sure on becoming true. But wasn't really always this way. Monster as a franchise has really had a bit of an underdog story. Being developed and published by Capcom had a lot to live up to since it had many massively successful sibling franchises, such as the founding father of fighting game Street Fighter, the legacy platform starring the Blue Bomber,
Mega Man!
and its other wacky but captivating sibling had two sequels come out a year before and after Monster Hunter's release, Devil May Cry.
This party's getting crazy. Let's rock.
Being surrounded by all these successful franchises made it a pretty low priority game for Capcom. This made them always put more focus on their bigger titles. In fact, Monster Hunter was pretty much excluded from Marvel vs. Capcom games for ages, which is like Capcom's own Smash Bros., which is by no means a popularity contest considering the huge amount of Darkstalker characters, which, if you don't know, yeah, it's been a while. This all changed when Monster Hunter World attacked.
World was successful beyond belief. So much so that even all these years later, it is still Capcom's best-selling game, and proof that Monster Hunter as a concept was always great and just needed the time and budget to truly shine. Part 2. Hunting History. Now, I may be painting the wrong picture here. You see, Monster Hunter, while never being super mainstream, was still fairly popular, especially in Japan. In fact, World's predecessor, Monster Hunter 4U, was met with tons of praise and good reviews. But what changed? What made it go from popular enough to get by and get sequels to this all-encompassing franchise that is now Capcom's best-selling title by such a large margin? Well, if you ask me, there's three key changes made from the old formula to the new formula that made Monster Hunter go from popular to Game of the Year contendee. Part 3. Worldwide. The first thing, in my opinion, wouldn't actually be how the game was designed, but what the game was designed for. See, most previous Monster Hunter games were kind of forced to be on handheld devices, like the PSP or the DS. This game, Monster Hunter World, was actually designed for real console and Steam play, exclusively, which means they actually were able to make what they wanted to make without any hardware restriction. This allowed the game to feel more alive due to it just generally looking better, and could actually afford to put more realistic, lifelike animations and behavioral patterns on the monster. You'll see monsters marking their territory with mucus, or going for a drink of water. I mean, look at these fuckfaces riding the monsters into battle after taming them. Truly beautiful. The second most important change they made were the changes to maps. You see, Old World Monster Hunter was separated by these loading zones due to limited hardware. One of World's biggest selling points was actually the removal of these. The game would now be open world, get it? This just made the hunts feel more surreal and alive. Long are the days ago where monsters were kind of just out of existence, and now are the days of actually feeling like a hunter, chasing down your target. They even put environmental traps around every map, all with their own unique ones. Obviously some share them, but they did a lot for what they could do. All the way from catching them in tree branches to an avalanche to dropping the monster from the top of the map all the way to the bottom. Yeah, I think this one's a little overkill, but it's still really cool. And last but certainly not least, is generally they just made the game more smooth. Monster Hunter was always praised for its phenomenal gameplay, but there's a term you'll hear thrown out a lot about the older titles: clunky. And I'm more inclined to agree with that than not. The older games, while feeling amazing when you really got into them, always felt just a little off. And I think that's always due to the lack of polish it got up until World changed all of that. Not to mention the quality of life changes that also came with World. like being able to change your weapon and armor mid-hunt, having auto crafting and there's no way for crafting to fail. Hell, one of the biggest problems earlier is if you needed to know where to get a certain item, there was no way to figure it out on your own besides looking it up. World fixed this. You now have a little book that when you get enough investigation on the monster, you can just be told it yourself instead of having to look up a guide. This was a common complaint with the older games because, you know, not everyone wants to boot up their PC and figure out where to get the fucking Toby Kadachi eyeball. Part 4. The Wonders of Wilds. Now here we are, all the way back to Monster Hunter Wilds. Monster Hunter Wilds will win Game of the Year. And you may be thinking, why so? All I've been doing is talking about Monster Hunter World, not Wilds, and World lost Game of the Year. What makes Wilds different enough that it can actually take home the gold instead of being the bridesmaid and never the bride? Well, that's easy. Going by only the 2 trailers we have seen of this game, it is taking all 3 of World's major changes and taking them to a whole new level, on top of fixing World's minor but still impactful mistakes. Let's start with the positives and what it's doing just as good as World is, if not better. Let's start with how the game looks. Just look at it. This game is fucking gorgeous. Since it's once again being mainly developed for console and Steam Play, it just looks so phenomenal. All these hunts, we've only seen the first few and it's just so cinematic. Every little thing about it, I could just gush on it for ages. And fun fact, if you ever want to make a homemade thermal bomb, you could try booting Monster Hunter Wilds up on your laptop. Observe. Now, with all pipe bombs aside, the game's gorgeous. And wanna know what else is gorgeous? This fucking map. Already, we've only seen, once again, 2 trailers. We've seen a sandy plains, a craggy mountain, a normal just grassy area with this whole big circular thing in the middle. Looks cool. And not to mention, they're taking the environmental effects even further. There are now sandstorms, lightning storms, monsters are going to be using this against us, or we're going to be using it against the monsters. They're kicking everything up a notch, and this trailer only proves my point. And for my last point, how smooth the game is. And well, I'll be honest, and it may come as a shock, I don't have any hands-on experience with the game, but once again, just look at it. This game's combat looks so smooth, blocking monsters mid-action and shoving the sword in their fucking mouth. Come on, how could that not make you want to spend $70 on a game? Monster Hunter Wilds will win Game of the Year. I am so sure of it that this is not an opinion, this is a statement. And I don't see how any other game could deserve it more. Monster Hunter went from being just another one of Capcom's many franchises to now rising above every single IP they own. And wow, does it feel good to be a Monster Hunter fan right now. Hey guys, I just want to say thank you so much for watching this far. This video I put a lot of effort in, and I know, I'm going to be honest, it's a little scuffed. Been a bit of a rough 2 weeks for me, just trying to get shit together. But I really did want to make this video. It's something that's really important to me, and it's the one time you'll hear me ask, if you like the video, share with your friends. Considering that I really did put my heart and soul into this, and I really hope you enjoy. Now, for the next video, it's just going to be a video Dogoron. I have the footage, I'm already editing it. So hopefully this time, instead of me saying 2 days and taking 2 weeks, I actually mean it should be less than a week, but bear with me. But yeah, once again, thank you guys for watching. I really did put my heart and soul into this, so for once, I'll say it. Please like, and if you're going to subscribe to any video, have it be this one. That would make me real happy. And yeah, we'll just be back to our regularly scheduled program. I'm leaving that one in for fun as a little, if you heard me fuck up my words, tell me in the comments you heard me fuck up my words. Have a good one, guys. Thank you.